Yeah, I kind of had a laugh this morning. I watched a couple different videos about people complaining about Google and more of their antics. But that's just endless. You know, it really seems to me that some enterprising company could really take advantage of this situation to make a YouTube, to start a new type of YouTube that works like the old YouTube used to work. You think the opportunity would be hard to pass up, because there's a lot of people that would bail on this new YouTube if you could go to an old type of YouTube. What I'm doing here is I'm gonna reload some of those for the Mauser, but do them with the soft point bullets. I've been playing with cast bullets, but I got some 150 grade, and they shoot well. They're not as good as the 312s. These are the 311 Sierras, but they shoot well. So, but I'm getting terribly low on Varget. I think I got enough to load them up, but that's one of them things too that I haven't been able to find Varget. But one of the funny things, this is my old, Droid phone, Droid X, Motorola. It was a great phone, but like a month ago, Google gave me an update. Because it was a bugger, when Google owns the Android operating system. Google bought Motorola, and I like Motorola phones, but ever since they got a hold of it, it's gone downhill. I don't know what the deal is with Google. I mean, what their attitude is the strangest thing. But after they did that, I couldn't watch videos. It was buffering all the time. Just wouldn't work. After that update, it was just horrible. So I finally gave up on this thing and bought a new phone. And I've been thinking about getting a new phone for quite some time. But the problem is, like I say, how do you get away from, the pact with the devil? Because this phone now is again a Motorola with the Android operating system, but this is a Droid Maxx. And it's really Google, but it's either that or go with an iPhone, because otherwise, any other Android phone, you're still a slave to Google because they license that from them, so you end up with Google crap anyway. So I figured I would embrace the devil, and I went with the Google phone. Well, they do make other phones too by Google, but this Android Maxx, the thing about it, it's got a lot of hell of a battery life on it. Like 2 days, and I'm a hard user on a phone. Plus now this has got a considerably bigger screen than what my old one did. A lot faster processor, excellent. I can watch videos like a damn. I watched one this morning, an hour long, and it never buffered once. So that's great. And one of the things, I'm a real heavy user on an Android phone, because what I use a lot for my work, I end up using the radar a lot. Like even this morning, I'm sitting here because I know, I was waiting for the storm to go through. There was potential of disaster, so I was waiting for that to pass. But this thing just does an excellent job with the radar, with everything. So I'm pleased with this phone. But now when I went in to buy this phone, because I looked on all the reviews and stuff, so I knew this is the phone that I needed. And it looks rather large because I did put, it's a bigger phone in the first place, partly because of the battery. Then I did put an outer box on it, which is kind of nice because it's a hard shell, then a rubber liner between the phone and the hard shell. So it's pretty well protected. And it's got both front and rear cameras. And the camera is one of them where you do this weird shaky deal, and then the camera comes on, and and you can switch, front camera, rear camera. So I'll be seeing if I could do much in the video way with this. I'll try it. But pretty impressive phone. But, as bad as Google is, then I was dealing with Verizon, because they are my carrier. Now, Verizon, see, I have an unlimited data plan I've had for many years. And they're trying to get rid of those unlimited data plans. So they've been bugging me to upgrade from this phone to a new phone. But if you upgrade, and if you do their deal, because then it would have been like $200 for this phone, and they'd give me $100 for the old phone. But then I end up with only 2 gigabytes of data. Well, that isn't enough for me. There's months I use like 16 gigabytes of data, because I use the crap out of the phone. I don't use my computer, because there I'm limited. See, I've been through this upgrade crap with my. I use this little hotspot deal for my computer, and they bugged me to upgrade that. When I upgraded that, she magically went from 5 gigabytes to 3 gigabytes, which is a killer because I use 5 gigabytes, so it always costs me an extra $20 a month, because of that. So hopefully I can do some video downloading with this phone. I can get away from that. But what I ended up doing, I had to buy this phone straight out, full retail price, which was like $600 out the door. But that saved me from having to, have them give me that new plan with the 2 gigabytes of data, which would do me no good at all. It was cheaper in the long run to pay full retail and not have them monkeying with my plan. So now I'm still on limited data, and that this phone actually works really good for videos. This is great, and because I do everything except upload videos, I do on the phone. And hopefully I'll be able to upload videos on this phone, but we'll see. They always try to work around that. But I'm pretty pleased with this phone. But it was funny, I was watching, it was on one of the news things, they were saying that Google had parked a couple of barges, mysterious barges, that were like 3 stories high, with shipping containers. There's one off the East Coast and one off the West Coast. Big secret. What are these barges here, that Google has? What's in these barges? They're coming up with all these schemes, and I'm thinking, my God, have you never seen that movie I, Robot, where they upgrade their robots and they, those androids, and they take over? That's what it looks like to me. And I wouldn't put it past Google. My God, they seem to have no qualms about that sort of thing. But it's good to have the new phone, and it was good to get away from them. But it was a wrestling match, I tell you. Those people, they try to sell you crap that you don't want, and give you a little surprise in the bargain. But it's kind of like this Google Plus. Part of this deal, I think the upgrade on this has to do with, there came a time, the government is always auctioning off different frequencies, different wavelengths. And Google and Verizon were in a bidding war over this certain frequency range. Well, Verizon got it, which really pissed Google off, because Google wants to do it all. Google would love to have, the whole world run by Google, and they really wanted to get into the phone business in that way. They're into the hardware and the operating system, but they need the frequencies, so they were really bidding on that. But somehow or another, Verizon got it. But I think that's Google's revenge then, was to upgrade my Droid phone to the point where I had to buy a new one. But that's just progress. But my God, Google is unbelievable in their antics, what they'll do. There seems to be no end to it. But I find it humorous in a way. Like, I watched a couple of videos this morning, people complaining because you can't, the whole commenting thing is a nightmare. and trying to link you to the Google Plus, which I always fight. Even, now with this new phone, when I first got it, I've had it a couple days now, and so I thought I'd try look on my YouTube account. Well, all of a sudden, see, I ended up, but now I actually have a duplicate YouTube account under my Gmail thing, which actually has no videos, and that's the one that it went to. So all of a sudden I had no videos, no subscribers, no nothing. I thought, oh shit, start over. But I was able to, by deleting this and monkeying around, I was able to get back to my old channel. But they will not leave crap alone. And so you never know what's going to happen. But I just think, man, there's such an opportunity there for some enterprising company to start a new YouTube like the old YouTube and get away from Google altogether, because they are the devil. Well, Verizon is hardly any better, but that's a devil I can work with. I go in there dressed in my Carhartt coveralls and talking a little bit louder than they like. Not mad, but very determined, let's say. I get my way, but it's a strain on me. I don't like to do that. But at least I've got it for now. But like I say, they're trying in the worst way to get rid of those unlimited data plans. So I was able to hang on to mine for now, but we'll see what Verizon, they'll revenge too. I tell you, if Verizon and Google got together, the world would end. But no big deal. I mean, I lived for many, many years without communication. I can certainly go back to being without communication, but I do like. I do a lot of buying over the internet, selling over the internet. I do, for work, I'm constantly using it, like for the radar and that sort of thing. So I would miss it, but I can live without it, if it gets to that point. But I better get reloading. But at least, I think I have an opportunity that I can do videos on the phone, because the camera seems to work good. It's like a 10 megapixel camera, but it seems to take pretty good videos. So I will play with that some, and then I don't know that I can download them, over the regular network. I might have to wait until I'm in a place where it'll do Wi-Fi, because they really love to do that. They love to dump you onto somebody else's Wi-Fi network to do any big downloads. But I could do that, so that might be a way of working it. But so far, very pleased with this phone. It's just unfortunate that there's the great Google involvement. It always makes me leery. Like, I know one review I read on them, it said, love the phone, love the battery life, love the screen, love everything about it. Works great now. We'll see what happens the first time Google does an update, which they will. Even when I first fired this thing up, when I hit the YouTube, it said right away, a newer version of YouTube is available. Do you want it? Oh, hell no. Never. Like my sister, one time she said, when I mentioned about this phone, she said, I wish they'd just leave my shit alone. And that's it. Just leave my shit alone. Don't update me.